Hello, I am Sammy, and welcome to the next part of me playing Alien Isolation. Now hopefully this is working perfectly this time. Last week I had a number of problems, but I tested streaming a few minutes ago and everything seemed to be okay. Hopefully everything is still okay now. One thing I want to make sure I do before I proceed and unload the game is make sure my sound levels are good, make sure my mic is going through. So bear with me a few seconds while stream loads up on my laptop over here that I have running. Yeah, sorry I haven't been able to stream quite a while. You know, on top of that I was having technical difficulties last week. Okay, my mic is going through. Now the only thing I need to hope for is that I'm able to continue streaming throughout the entire time and have it not crap out on me. Alright, so let's load in the game. Let's do an actual, for real part 10 this time. I'm gonna keep up the previous, or the first attempt at part 10, where my mic was somehow not working. I'm gonna leave it up on Twitch, but I'm not gonna put it up on YouTube. I'm just going to let that kind of expire. I know I had mic problems in another earlier part, but I was able to discover that fairly early on, so it was only about 20 minutes. I don't want to have an entire part that's a whole hour where you can't hear what I'm saying. That's no fun. So I'm going to do the same exact part. I reverted back to an earlier save. And I'm going to try to do the same thing again.
What are you doing here? This isn't the answer.
He recovered much more quickly than it usually does, because that's not always a constant. Alright, so for this part, as I tried to do my previous attempt, I want to do a couple things. One thing I wanted to try to do was do a recap, a sort of an informal recap of the story up until this point. Mainly because when I was looking back at previous parts, I realized that the story seemed a little hard to follow. It's mainly because it's not because it's a very convoluted type of story. I think it's mainly because a lot of things were happening very quickly and at the same time. So I figure a recap might help people trying to follow with these parts. I don't think I can craft anything to pick up this sensor here, fortunately. So another thing I want to do on top of that, on top of a recap, is just explain my thoughts around this part in general and how things are changing in terms of both the story and gameplay. Because between part 9 and this part, there were some major shifts in terms of just generally what things are happening and how you are meant to play and approach the gameplay. So yeah, let's start with the recap. And I'll just do... I think I have to go here. Okay. Again, I'll do this just informally. I'm not going to try to read off of a script or anything, or be any sort of command, because I ain't going to play. Although that is the I suppose the aim that I'm trying to do here, to try to make the story more coherent. One thing, the
Ripley, it's recorded. You made it.
I'll let him talk here.
No thanks to Waits.
He's a ruthless son of a bitch. Always has been. Stubborn too. If he'd ever listened to me, things would never have gone this far.
It's done now.
I'm sorry for fucking up with the lockdown earlier.
Forget it. You got me out in the end. I'll see you back at the Bureau.
Alright, I just have to do a quick reset up of my stream on my laptop here. Just give me a second. Just to see how that's going. It is up now. Okay, everything seems to be okay. I can hear myself, that's good. Alright, let's get down to business then. Hopefully that won't happen again. I just want to have one nice smooth playthrough if my setup here will allow it. Alright, so the beginning of the story, Ellen Ripley from the movie, her daughter, Amanda Ripley, she is approached to try to go to this station that we're on right now, called the Sevastopol station, and pick up it's like, I think it's a recorder for the Nostromo, which is the ship that her mother, Ellen Ripley, was on at the end of Alien the movie. So she and her team come to this station and find something. Things are wrong right away. Before they even get on the station, they find things aren't quite right. They can't even dock on the station normally. They have to do a sort of spacewalk across. So they attempt that, but they are interrupted as they're trying to do the spacewalk. And Amanda gets separated from her crewmates. She makes it onto the ship, regardless of the interruption. And she starts out isolated and alone. She does eventually make it to the recorder, and she finds the Nostromo recorder, essentially. Finds that there's nothing on it, it's been deleted or corrupted. But she isn't done. She is not done here. She actually has to... She and her team aren't able to get off the station because things are going haywire. Okay, in the beginning it is pretty hectic. A lot of things are happening. For one, the reason why nobody can get off the ship is because the station AI, called Apollo, has closed down all sorts of travel, communication with the outside world, which is why the Torrens... Oh yeah, I should mention that. The Torrens is the ship that they came on. I'm going to bring this up again. The Torrens couldn't dock, the Torrens could not communicate, and it's why Ripley and her team cannot communicate with the Torrens when they do get on the station. Beyond the shutdown of communications and travel by Apollo, there's also this problem with a monster, an alien, the xenomorph that's hunting down people and causing havoc. Yeah, so she finds herself on the Sevastopol with these problems here. She has to deal with that stuff until she reunites with her team. She finds that one of her team, named Taylor, was injured when they were separated. So, faced with that problem, she, her team, and the station's marshals have to sort of prioritize what to do. Faced with all these problems all at once, they have to prioritize. So, they prioritize Taylor's health, try to help her. They figure they should send Ripley to get a trauma kit for Taylor. And so she does that while having to...
Rip, I'm about to rain in the parade. Something's up with the androids.
Something's been up with the damn androids since I got here.
No, this is new. They've left their posts. I just saw some of them in a public area. That's not normal.
Great.
Watch your back.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to talk over them. Just want to let them play. So anyway, they send Ripley to go find a trauma kit. She does eventually find it, but of course, as soon as she finds it, they still need to send Taylor, or bring Taylor to a medical facility, which they can't do because Apollo also shut down the transit system. So of course they have to send Ripley to repair the transit system. She's able to do that while being hunted by the alien, by the xenomorph. Let's see. Fortunately, there's nothing I can craft here. I can pick up more stuff. I'm pretty much just maxed out on everything, I think. Guess that's not too bad of a problem to have. Alright, so once they finally take care of Taylor, bring her to a medical facility after Ripley is able to fix the transit system, or restore power to it, then they go on to the next thing, which is dealing with the alien. Trying to set a trap for it, and then take it out of the equation. So, of course, Ripley is given the honor of doing that too. She eventually does bring it to an area where she can trap it, but at the same time the marshals, they don't do a nice thing. They don't wait for Ripley to get off of that isolated area, or to leave that area, and they jettison that part of the station, her and the alien on it together. Naturally, Ripley is pissed at this, and even though she can get back, she does manage to get back. Obviously, we're still on the Sevastopol here. The alien... The most important thing is that the alien is off the station, which brings us to where we are now. The alien is off the station. We're no longer being hunted, which is a major change of pace for compared to the first half or so of this game. Now, going forward, I believe the plan is to deal with the problems with Apollo, which I mentioned earlier. And we'll see how they deal with it going forward. They want to deal with Apollo, restore communications, and be able to get everybody off the ship, essentially. So we're gonna find out what is going wrong with this AI. Now, the reason why I appreciate the beginning of the game compared to now is...
Wait, it's Ripley. What's going on with the androids?
I don't know.
What about the change in alert status?
Damn it, I don't know. I'm trying to contact Samuels. Maybe he knows what the hell Apollo is playing at.
Sorry, once again, I didn't want to interrupt them talking, hearing what they say. I like the beginning of the game because of the sense of dread that you get from not being able to kill the xenomorph. You have to constantly be aware of it and run away from it. Even though you do have items like you see here, you collect certain items that allow you to deal with it, and you get slightly more capable going forward. You can't kill it. You just have to do your best to get through the environment, and I really like that sort of gameplay. I did really feel that fear first time playing through this game and being hunted by the alien as well as other things on the station. Alright. He does see me, so... deal with them. Another shotgun. Let's see, are there any other hostiles?
Take him out! Take him out!
Oh, sorry, I'm not really talking right now because I'm dealing with this situation here. I should be using more of these. Okay, that guy won't shoot me. I have to watch out for any armed any armed humans will attack me. I think there might be a few around here. Yeah, there's one.
We want you!
Okay, there we go. The humans, I'll stun them, but I don't wanna kill them necessarily. I like to craft these, craft some. As I was saying, compare the what's the word for this? The isolation and the inability to fully deal with the alien compared to what you saw in Part 9, the previous part. Largely, the gameplay largely changes when you pick up the flamethrower. That's when the major shift happens.
Wait, for God's sakes, Apollo's not the aliens off the leash. They're attacking on sight.
I don't know what the hell this is. They're not just responding to trespass violations. It's like they're hunting. For everyone and anyone.
What do you mean?
Stand by.
The moment you pick up the flamethrower going forward, you are far more capable as far as dealing with the alien, which I think is why that lead up from the flamethrower to it being jettisoned off the station is relatively short. It does give you a change of pace, give you a feel of faster pace with greater sense of empowerment. That's just like a bug on my Android. And even though I loved the beginning of the game, I loved being actually scared, having to hide, not being able to truly deal with the alien, just any power influence over the alien was largely restricted to distracting him, sending him to a different part of the area, and then getting around him. But after several hours of that, after, I don't know, it's probably close to 10 hours worth of that. Okay. I have a lot of these, so I'll probably go ahead and use that. Again, I have a lot of revolver ammo, so I'm just going to rip on these guys. So when I did get the flamethrower, I'd say I welcomed the change of pace. Then again, that sort of gameplay where you feel slightly more empowered, you still can't kill the alien, but far more capable as far as dealing with him. He drops down, just do a little tap of the flamethrower, the flame, and you send him running. Get him away from you. As long as you're good about managing those resources, the fuel, pretty much okay. And I think that style of gameplay doesn't last, or wouldn't last as long as the sort of hide-and-seek style, the run for your life of the beginning. Okay, that's us over here. That is where I'm supposed to go.
It'll be an adventure. Assholes.
So, wasn't very long after you get the flamethrower that you tire of that style of gameplay too, and that's why I think jettisoning it off the station is probably a smart move to then change up the gameplay once again. Which brings us to where we are now, where dealing with the station without the alien, and just going forward, you'll see firsthand how it changes. Now I think other problems related to these changes of gameplay, these things, will come up, and I think I'll discuss them as I go forward. Now we'll return right back to the ongoing, moment-to-moment stuff that I focused on.
Wait, I've got some security
Before.
shutters in my way. Can you open them? Wait.
You bastards, you murdering bastards! Leave him alone! Stand down! You shouldn't be here. You're becoming hysterical. You bastards!
Wait! Wait!
That does not sound good. So the door's locked, I have to find an alternate route.
Space, they said. It'll be an adventure. Assholes.
I wonder where those guys are. They might be up there somewhere.
Thank you for your patience.
Because I did this part last time and I pretty much was able to fill up that entire segment, even though my mic was not being picked up by the stream, kind of, I think I exhausted a lot of commentary for what I wanted to say here back then, even though it wasn't picked up or recorded. Which is unfortunate, but so I'll just have to deal with it as we go forward. Again, I could have prevented that myself just by checking the mic levels before I really went forward. Yeah, this I'd say this area does look good, but the doors are kind of confusing. They're hard to pick out from the rest of the world here. Does that guy have a gun? I hope he doesn't. No, he's just running away. He won't hurt me. The only people you have to worry about on the station are the guys with guns. They're carrying a gun, then you have to deal with them. Otherwise we're cool. I guess that's that is one thing that could have been better in this environment, is like the doors are really hard to pick out. Like, I think this is the door that opens. Yeah, here we go. Really hard to pick out from the rest of the environment, and they just seem like walls. So, kind of difficult for me to navigate through here the first time around. I hate when this happens, when I see items that I can't pick up. Feels like I'm not really fully maximizing my item usage, and I'm probably being a little bit too conservative. While that may be true, and I should be using more items more often, I think the game could be a little bit more, what's the word? Scarce as far as the resources that you can pick up. Because if you do any sort of scavenging at all, if you take care to look in every box and every corner for items, then you'll usually run into this problem where you have everything maxed out and you're unable to pick up anything new. Okay, let's save here. While I'm saving, I'll do another sound check. And I want to make sure it's still going smoothly. Okay, stream seems to be fine. Basically, I'm streaming myself here on my dashboard, and I have like the chat up there as well. So I made it to the point where I was before, which is good. And I was able to do the things that I wanted to do last part. So now it's like, I guess I'm caught up, so to speak. Okay, I will let that play as I check. Okay, I'm gonna let this play as I go forward.
I'm leaving this for you when you wake up. I know that you're still all over the place after that thing came out of Foster, but you've got to stop fucking up like this. You got way too drunk and told those people sleeping in the mall way too much. I dragged you away when I saw the look in their eyes. We can't go back there again. No one can know we're connected tomorrow and be released door. I'll come back once you've dried out.
And I don't care about being quiet around these guys. I can just right on ahead and take them down. They are just androids after all, and they're they are malfunctioning, so to speak. I suppose in this part, some people are still like trying to sneak around them. I guess that is a valid way to play, sure. But, you know, we're not being hunted by the alien anymore. There's no point in being quiet. So, yeah, I'll just take him down. It's not like they're the nice human androids, or human android that we saw in the movie Aliens. It was actually kind of a reverse, or a play on your expectations that the alien, or not the alien, that the android there was actually helpful. Just like Android Samuels here that saw earlier. These androids aren't quite the same. They are far less advanced than Samuels or what was his name? It was Bishop in Aliens. I think they lack that human element, gives you any sort of compassion for them. So when they are going berserk and killing everybody, I don't think I have no moral objection to just blasting them. The only thing that stopped me before was, well, I was being hunted by the alien, and any noise would draw the alien out. So straight up blasting them would not be the wisest move. But now it's okay. Now I'm free. Again, I'm using a lot of items, but even then I'm quickly able to replace them because I'm essentially being overwhelmed by resources. I am playing on the hardest difficulty. I do have to go here. I know I have to go through there, but I want to check out the rest of this environment. See what else there is. Okay, 2 doors to go through. I think, especially on hard, maybe as I've said many times, the resources might have been a little bit more scarce. I have to worry about the resource management a little bit more. There's also, I wonder if that's where I have to go. Yeah, actually, pretty sure that's where I have to go, so. I wonder if I don't know if I can shoot this. Yep. Yeah, I've been burned by those dormant ones, the ones that were on the ground there before, and I know exactly what they're up to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of them. Okay, so we have a computer here, door here. All right, I recognize this area. We were on the other side of that gate over there not too long ago. I believe I looked through and I saw like that door there. Okay, there's also a vent here. Wow, there's quite a lot of things to look through. Okay, I'll check out that vent in a bit, but I first want to see what's in that other room. Reload that one bullet. And I think the game is no longer giving me items because I'm so good at managing them. Okay, I wonder if that vent just leads over here. yeah, now since I'm so full up on items, the game is just no longer bothering to give me anything. Okay, if I'm right, this should just lead to the other room. Yeah, that's what's happening. Unless this vent goes even further. The map indicates that it might actually go further. Let's see where this leads. Can't forget I also want to read that computer, see what's on there. Okay, so no, it is just a dead end. Okay, so that's the only thing left is that computer. Although I like exploring environments and making sure I see everything, kind of wish there was more to the environments here. There are quite a lot of rooms in the game, even secret rooms where we have to solve a puzzle to get to them.
I have been camped out on Galeria Mall for maybe
Well, I'll let this play.
24 hours. The people here, they're scared. But they still believe that martial weights will kill the creature. They forget other dangers. They forget themselves. People are tuning on each other for food, for water. I cannot stay here.
So there are even some rooms in this game where you have to solve a puzzle, like a minor puzzle, where you redirect power to the locked door and open it. Even then, when you have to solve that minor puzzle to get to it, there largely would be nothing in that room besides just a few pickups, a few items, not even a diary or a tag or anything like that. So those rooms are kind of disappointing. Like, I think those rooms, like the ones we just saw, there wasn't really a puzzle to get to them, but they're really only there if you're having a tough time as far as just crafting items, just give you more room. More resources.
Dr. Lingard, I've just examined a patient with, well, I've never seen anything like it. Some kind of unknown parasite. I did a quick check on the name they gave me, and there's no one registered under it as Sevastopol. I think she came on board recently. Do you know anything about this? I have no idea what Sinclair and his men were doing, but this should have been picked up during quarantine. Who knows what else they've let through? The patient and her captain are waiting for me in the examination room. Get down here now.
So not only the rooms with just, you know, crafting parts, not only are they disappointing, but even on top of that, when even the rooms that do have the audio diaries or the tags, those aren't all that worthwhile either. I mean, I'd say the most worthwhile thing to find in this game are the Nostromo logs. I believe there are only 10 of them scattered around Sevastopol, because they actually have they're voiced by the original actors who played those characters in the movie Alien. So they have Sigourney Weaver, they have Ian Holm, and they recorded original dialogue from those actors. So if anything is worthwhile to pick up, it's that stuff. Beyond that, like the ID tags like this, they don't really do anything. They're not really, I'd say they're not really worthwhile to pick up. So the exploration, while fun for me, I feel like at the same time it is a bit disappointing. I admire the largeness, let's call it the largeness of the station, the persistence of it, and the fact that throughout most of the game, you can hop on a transit and just go to any part that you want. That's pretty admirable. At the same time, there's not much reason to do that. And as I think I talked about this before, the audio diaries and the tags and things like that aren't enough motivation. They don't provide enough motivation to look for those things, to say, put the main storyline on hold. Whatever you have to do, whatever Ripley has to do at that moment, and say, nope, okay, I'm going to put that on hold, I'm going to go to the other part of the station, and I'm going to look for doors that I can now open, and diaries that I can pick up. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It's not worthwhile.
Rick, they're all dead.
The android slaughtered them.
Why? Why the fuck?
I don't know, but I think Samuels does.
Samuels? Why?
Wait sent him to access Apollo. I need to find him. Have you seen Taylor and Marlo?
No.
They're not here. I think they may have got clear. Ricardo. Ricardo! If I go after Samuels, can you run this place? I need eyes and ears.
I'm not fucking staying here.
Ricardo, I need you to do this. Can you man the station and keep me covered? Ricardo!
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Sit tight. Lock the fucking doors and don't let anyone in. Look after me. I'll come back for you.
So here we see the final resting place of Marshal Waits, who has been sort of helping us through the major portions of through most of the beginning of the game, until he sort of betrayed us and left us to die with the alien as he jettisoned both of us into space. So, I don't know. I guess some people might feel this is a fate he deserved. But since, I'd say since we're generally okay, we managed to get back on the station, I still find myself feeling bad for him. I do have to go that way. Is there anything else to pick up here? No, I don't think. It's a locked door. I think that with the game, there are two things that the game could have benefited from. Ooh, okay. I think the game could have gone in two directions that would have helped as far as the presentation here. One is just making it far more linear and making it so that the other areas of the station aren't accessible. Because, well, the reasons for going there, as I said, are pretty weak. So just, like, remove that part of the game entirely, just... Alright, now we're back here, huh? I think we were on the other side and it was locked or something. Anyhow. I guess making it more linear is not entirely a bad thing, because that's mostly what it is already. You are largely just going through the main story, and yeah, you can visit other parts of the station if you want, but it's not a whole lot of fulfilling stuff to do as far as that. So beyond going the whole linear route, another thing that they could have made this, and by they I mean the developers who designed the game, is perhaps give us more things to do in those environments, which I don't think would have been too unreasonable. Maybe some sort of side quest, or I don't know, maybe helping some optional missions where you help other people on the station that you can pursue instead of the main storyline, or in parallel to the main storyline. And while that would have just caused more work for developers, I'm not sure if they would have appreciated. I'm not sure if they would appreciate me like demanding that they do that. I mean, the game is pretty good, regardless. Yeah, there are things that they could have maybe adjusted with the game to make doing that more, or make developing those other side missions, that's the word I'm looking for, to make possible side missions more possible to make.
You're starting to test my patience.
And I think, see that, well, sorry, I'm just, I'm really happy I'm able to use these pipe bombs now freely, without really having to worry about the alien. Nice satisfying blowing up of the androids. So yeah, while things like side missions would have created more work for them, there are things they could have addressed that might have balanced that out. Maybe I'll discuss that later. It's not really relevant now because it involves stuff like spoilers, spoiler talk. So yeah, I think those two approaches might have helped this game somewhat, either making it more linear or making it more non-linear. Now the game's kind of caught in between those two extremes. Where was it that I need to go? I suppose I need to go to the Samy Tower. Let me just check the... where was that? Alright, it's been so long, it's been such a while that I forget the right button, so... Find Samuels and Seeks and Synthetics. Okay, it makes sense that we're going to Seeks and... Oh, take the train to the Samy Tower, so... Makes sense that we're going there. Since... I believe we are primarily concerned with trying to fix Apollo and the problems involved with Apollo. So yeah, Seeks and Synthetics would make sense. It's a place to go. Also gonna meet up with Samuels, who I think went ahead of us, according to the dialogue there. In this quiet moment, I want to maybe address that it's kind of a shame that I can't use the new drivers for the new NVIDIA graphics drivers for this game, because in those drivers they just introduced to a lot of the other, or to the majority of graphics cards now, or at least newer ones, the ability to do their dynamic super resolution, which is a new feature that they introduced, which allows you to render the game at a much higher resolution than your own monitor, and then downsample from that resolution down to your monitor's native resolution. So the advantage of doing that, even though it creates a whole lot of work for your graphics card, is it's able to anti-alias the game, or that is removing a lot of the jagged edges that you see, much better than the majority of other anti-aliasing methods.
I can see activity on terminals on the top levels of Seeks and Synthetics. Rip, I'm not sure I can do this.
Ricardo, I need you to focus. You're in charge now.
In charge of what? A room full of dead people. This is fucked up.
Focus, Ricardo. If Samuels can talk to Apollo, he can get the androids to stand down. Then this will all be over.
Hold on 1 second, I wanna... While I have this, moment, I wanna check the stream. Seems to have... At least on my laptop, it seems to have stopped. I wanna know... Seems like I'm still going, but... And my webcam is on, but I wanna make sure... Get confirmation from my own stream here. It's always a good idea. Check that and make sure it's still going. By all indications, I don't see why it wouldn't be going. Might have just stopped because maybe it overloaded my bandwidth or something. Yeah, okay, I'm still going. Yep, and my mic is still working too. Yep, I can... I don't know if it's going through the mic, but yeah, I can hear myself. So, okay, we're still going strong. I'm not sure how much longer I can stream for this part, but maybe next save point. Let's see. I think this was the same place where I opened that room. No, it wasn't this one. Probably on the other side. And I couldn't actually get to them because I couldn't get to that room because there's a big group of guys blocking it, and I think I should be able to get there now. If this is the right part of the station. I believe it is. Yeah, I think it was this room. There wasn't anything in here anyway. Just more parts. I mean, this is one of the rooms I was referring to where it's just parts and no pickups. There are nothing worthwhile here to pick up. Even though I spent a whole lot of time, or even though not a whole lot of time, but I did solve a small puzzle to open this room involving one of these rewire tools here. And that was kind of a waste because, as you can see, there's really nothing in there. I want to say that I can now open this part. Yeah, okay, that's probably where I need to go. Before I did not have this plasma torch, and now I can access this part of this area. Everything seems to be quiet, which is fairly disconcerting. Where was it that I needed to go? Check the map. Alright, not here. This brings me back to... That would bring me back to another part of the environment. I need to go here. I believe that exclamation point means I have some sort of pickup. A point of interest. Alright, well, since... I want to say that since this is a fairly extensive new part, I remember this from last time, that I think it would be better if I ended the stream here. As in, yeah, I'm gonna head back to that earlier save spot, not too far away. And then I will leave that next area of the station for the next part. I think that would be a lot better. Alright, well, if you join me, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.